All right, guys, we're back. We're so back.
We're so back.
We just decided that we're going to just flip this round on its head right now, and we're going to start being golfers. As we roll up down the 14th fairway, house on the hill to our left, Jimmy Tropicana and 7 other guys are staying there. Guess we didn't get the invite. What can you do? You were kicked out of the Tropicana Golf Club, weren't you?
I was.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the fellowship. My name is Adam Hawk. More importantly, welcome to my 2014 Toyota Corolla. It's white, it's rusting, the paint is chipping, it's missing 2 black hubcaps that I got from Walmart many moons ago. It's 6:32. I'm in my motor vehicle and I am staring at a 132-mile drive right in the face because I am heading out to the Clash at Rams Hill. The Clash is a 2-man net best ball tournament. I'll be honest, I don't really know the format yet. I don't care about the format yet. That might change when I get there and we start trying to not embarrass ourselves in this thing. But my partner is Tony Bacardi, who, if you listen to this podcast, is one of the main characters in the Nation Golf universe. If Nation Golf has a universe, maybe we have a zip code. But Tony is one of our very good, very close friends. And this is one of our all-time favorite people. I consider him, and I know Ryan does too, like a brother. And I'm excited to go spend a couple of days with Tony. This guy is a golf junkie. His appetite for tournaments and competitive play seems to be insatiable. It's a 2-day tournament, Saturday and Sunday. Today is Friday, and I am heading out. It's a 3-hour drive. We have a practice round today at 12 noon. Our quote-unquote practice round is with Scott Nolan and Scott Nolan's son, who I haven't met yet. But Scott Nolan is also a character in the Nation Golf zip code. You might know him from this sound drop right here.
Ryan Engel made me a fucking breakfast burrito.
That's Scott Nolan on his own podcast, the Holy Duffer podcast, which we affectionately refer to as the Duffer McShankers podcast. It's where 2 grown men sit around and play fart noises on a sound machine and then applaud themselves on that same sound machine and argue about how to get more speed so they can shoot 89 in a men's club event. Fascinating stuff. But I love Scott, and I'm excited to be on the tee sheet with Scott and his son. I've never been to Rams Hill. It's a super long drive. It's a place that I'm very excited to go. And it's just sitting out there in the desert. I've had this golf course circled on my list for a long, long time. Will the Mayor Mayo has invited us out numerous times, and we were supposed to do a Rams Hill trip in December, but there was a power outage due to some high winds. So he was kind enough to extend a very generous invitation to come back to this. And I was going to play with one Ryan J. Engel, but this weekend he is heading to Idaho on a family trip. And that has opened up the opportunity for me to play with Tony Bacardi. So that's the situation. It's now 6:39. I'm driving down in a car that I hope makes it. Honestly, that's a real concern. I hope this Toyota Corolla makes it to where I'm going. And if it does, then we should have a really good weekend in front of us. On my way to Borrego Springs, I stopped at Nation Golf and grabbed some new head covers and knocked out as many work-related emails as I could so I wouldn't have to be on my phone during the weekend. Then I got back on the road, headed east to my hotel, which was just 4 miles out from the golf course. And I loved the drive. It was windy, it was desolate, it was scenic, and it was really exciting to be going somewhere that I have never been before. And around 11 in the morning, I was checked into my room at the Borrego Springs Resort and Spa. All right, checked in. Really cool resort, hotel. Definitely a relic from the past, but in a very endearing way. Love the room. Love the whole vibe going on out here. Just heard from my partner, Tony Bacardi. Guess where he is? He's grinding it out at the range before a practice round, so I am scooting over to the golf course to go see him. It was a short drive from the hotel to Rams Hill Golf Club, less than 10 minutes. But what's impossible to miss as a first-timer is that in Borrego Springs, it's nothing but barren, natural desert as far as the eye can see. Except for this plot of land in the distance that's lined with palm trees and acres of green grass. And that's Rams Hill, just an oasis in the middle of nowhere that you can see from anywhere. And it doesn't really make sense. And once you pull into the gates, you feel like you're at a country club. Everything is manicured. All the roads are freshly paved. There are vibrant flowers everywhere. And there are streets that lead you to residential golf course housing. It's like driving through a portal. Let's pick it up in the clubhouse where I first ran into Scott Nolan and his son, Lucas. We're here at the clubhouse. Just met Lucas, Scott's son. He's got a busted digit. He's still going to beat us all. Trying to get Scott into a very, very small money match. You're a
11.4.
Okay, and I'm a 13.2. Let's just play straight up.
All right, fine.
And you owe me 20 from last time.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Let's just go double or nothing then.
So 40
Yeah.
overalls?
Yeah. If you lose, you owe me 40. If I lose, I owe you nothing.
All right, fair enough.
Tony Bacardi in the house, and he's sweating. He's got his towel. What's up, partner? What's up, brother? Dude, good to see you. Did you warm up?
I did. I mean, I didn't really have to. It's pretty warm out there already.
Have you eaten? You want to split this taco plate I got coming out? Whatever. Let's do that.
Sorry, I just got roped into a bet that I didn't want to make, but
Just
here we are.
straight up match play between two high handicappers. I'm going to split that meal with him.
Okay.
Thank you. After some really good fish tacos, the four of us went out for our round. And if you listen to this podcast, you'll know from previous episodes that I am playing the worst golf of my life right now. I simply cannot get the ball off the tee, and my misses with the driver are comically bad and unbelievably wide-ranging. Sky balls, tops, flim-flammy banana peeler slices, snap hooks. I don't even know what to try to fix because it's all broken. All right, so we're 4 holes in. We're at Rams Hill. Just started the recording out on the golf course. My nightmare on the tee continues, and it's getting worse, but that's what practice rounds are for. We're going to figure it out. Scott Nolan won up in the match against me, and he, quite frankly, should be 4 up with how I'm hitting the ball. But the real story here is one Anthony Bacardi, who started out with a birdie and then on a par 5 nearly dunked an eagle chip, left a little meat on the bone, missed the birdie, but folks, he's made 3 straight pars after the birdie. He's 1 under through 4, and you love to see it. Nothing much changed between the end of the fourth hole and when we made the turn, except despite being the world's worst driver of the golf ball, I somehow went one up on Scott Nolan. And the developing storylines for our group were Tony Bacardi shot even par going out. Scott's son shot a 39 and was in great position to beat his old man for the first time. And I had that unexpected lead in my match against Scotty. Let's jump ahead to the tee box at 14.
Rams Hill update. We're through 13. I found a little bit of my game, and I'm up 3 on Scott Nolan. And Anthony Bacardi, my partner, has found the plus side of the scorecard, unfortunately. He's on a bit of a bogey run here. Is that back-to-back bogeys? Yep. Yeah. But that's okay. You're going to be fine, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Where are you going to end today?
+3.
75?
Yep.
Okay, very good. And let me go catch up with Scott Nolan. He's walking. He's a little dejected to the tee box. He's down 3. Scott, how are you feeling right now? I saw a little bit of anger, potentially a club throw, but you held it back. You doing all right?
If I had a beer, I would have thrown that.
Okay. Well, why don't you have any beer?
No, well, the beer was in the cart. I'm saying if it was in my hand, I would have thrown it.
Is that a reference to your behavior at the Nation Desert Classic?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Two holes later, through 15, a couple of great things happened for Team Good Guys. Tony made a birdie to get back to even par on the day, and I closed out my match with Scott Nolan 4-3. With just 3 holes left and Scott Nolan wanting nothing to do with the press and Lucas already having beat his dad, the only thing left to pay attention to was, could Tony Bacardi, who was at even par standing on 18 box, make birdie on the par 5 finishing hole and post a number in red figures? After a great drive, a perfect aggressive layup, a chip to 2 feet, and a kick-in bird, the kid had done it.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you, brother.
So good. But more importantly than the 71, I beat Scott Nolan. He owes me $40. We got cookies?
Yeah.
Thanks, Briam.
You want to clean for you guys?
We'll clean the clubs? Sure. Yeah, thanks, man.
You guys going tomorrow?
Yeah, we are.
You guys going to leave your cup or you can take them? You know what? You can leave them here, bro.
Can we leave him at the golf course?
Yeah, you can leave them here and they stay in the same cart tomorrow. And when you come tomorrow, they're going to be right over there on the cart.
Oh, beautiful.
Sure.
Yeah,
that works.
That sounds good. Thanks, man.
Just take everything.
Let me, I need to get some stuff out of there.
Rams Hill with the first-class touches of hospitality, a warm, home-baked cookie to end the round, clubs cleaned on the house, and the invitation to leave our sticks on the back of our cart so we didn't have to lug the lumber back and forth all weekend. But this evening was just getting started, because on the itinerary for the weekend was a Friday night yacht club party. No idea what that meant or where it could be, but we jumped into Tony's fire engine red rental Audi and lined up in a caravan to nowhere.
All right, so it's 5:40 Friday night. We finished our round. We had a cocktail. We hung out. We thought we were going to have time to go back to the hotel and get changed and shower, but that was not the case. And so now we are in this caravan of probably 14 vehicles, 7 in front, 7 behind. We are driving out of Rams Hill, and we're going apparently to what they are calling a yacht club party. And Tony Bacardi's driving a rental fire engine red Audi, and because we're driving on these dirt roads out in the middle of the desert, he just wondered out loud if we are about to be taken someplace remote and buried alive if we don't profess our love for Rams Hill.
This is like a ritualistic. This has ritual all over it.
This feels like we're in a cult.
Yeah, like, or we're getting ready to be jumped into a frat. We don't know what's going to happen.
Right. If you had to call for help right now, no one in the world would find us.
You can dial 911 and your emergency contacts will probably be notified, but it'll just put a dot in the middle of the Salton Sea or Borrego Valley.
Right. So we're driving 10 miles an hour over a bunch of dirt road in the middle of nowhere, and allegedly we're going to wind up at a yacht party, which, what are you anticipating this yacht party is going to be, and what kind of establishment do you think we're going to?
This could be an actual yacht that somebody has propped up from the Salton Sea.
Right.
And there could be some event going on in that. It could be a play on words. This is the last place you would find a yacht.
Yes.
So let's call it a yacht party.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of water around here.
It also could be a mass grave.
It could be a mass grave. We're hoping that we survive. Oh my gosh, this is not where we're going, to the shed.
That is a really small shed.
There's a shed with a straw roof.
And some rocky dirt practice greens.
Okay, we're in a completely dirt yard right now in the middle of the desert. There are 2 establishments that look like shacks and sheds. There's a makeshift driving range with a little bit of reclaimed water acting as some sort of hazard. And everyone's going to park here. What's the temperature outside right now? 105?
105.
All right. We drove 5 minutes away from the golf course to somehow a place that's even more desolate than where we came from. And here we go, folks. We'll keep you posted. The lesson that Rams Hill and Borrego Springs is constantly teaching a first-timer like me is to never judge a book by its cover. And I was guilty of that heading into the desert, heading into the hotel, driving up to the golf course, and, of course, pulling up to the yacht party. Because this hangout, like everything else before it, was incredible and totally unique. There was a tiki bar and a couple of bays to fire wedge shots into desert dirt greens, and that's it. It's got to be the least pretentious yacht club in the world. Here's Will the Mayor Mayo with some more information on the Borrego Springs Yacht Club.
So once upon a time, this was an old 27-hole routing. Like you could see out in the distance, maybe you saw when you were playing today, but like you see those old palm trees. So this was an old, the routing was totally different. So this was an old golf hole. I think this was number 16, like a little par 3. You can see there was another putting green there once upon a time, way back when. So in Rams Hill...
What do you mean you can see there's another putting green there?
I see the trees.
The trees.
Agronomy.
So that was a signature of that architect, Ted Robinson Sr. He put these palm trees behind.
Are you flexing on me right now?
A little bit. But then so when Rams Hill was closed for a while, a handful of years, still all the locals would come down here and party. So they built this, essentially.
In that trash can.
Filled the lake with water. This was their hangout for years.
Yeah.
And then Rams Hill, we came back, and this was important to them. They didn't want to lose it.
Right.
So, we own it. It's Rams Hill's property per se, but really we leave it to the Borrego Springs Yacht Club, and they have a membership, like dues and stuff.
Right. I was just talking to Harry. What's Harry's last name?
Turner.
Harry Turner. He is the
He's the COO.
COO of Rams Hill. He was telling me that you have to pay dues here,
Yeah.
and it's reciprocal. So members of the Borrego Springs Yacht Club were going to like San Diego and Newport Beach yacht clubs and rolling
awesome?
up at real yacht clubs and saying we're yacht club members.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, I don't see many yachts out here.
No, they run some motorized boats out here a lot, but yeah, it's just a hang. So it's like, it's we leave it to them. This is the one time a year people can come here because it's really like you see it a lot on Instagram and stuff. Like it's a trendy spot, but we say this is the one day a year it's accessible.
So if I were to come back and play Rams Hill any other time, I could not come out here?
Right. Not unless you're a member of the yacht club.
And how much does membership cost?
I'm not sure.
So even though I know you...
Yeah, I'm not a member.
You're not a member of this yacht club?
No.
Wow.
Not right now, not today.
So
Harry's a member.
Harry's a member of the yacht club?
Oh, yeah.
And that gets him in all other yacht clubs around the world?
I think it does.
After talking to the mayor, I found some more royalty.
So we're at the yacht party, Tony. It actually is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
And guess who we ran into? The 2025 Boob of the Year, Cameron Huth. He's out here at the Rams Hill Clash. He's playing with his dad. Great to see you, Cam.
Happy to be here.
We just had a conversation about the Boob of the Year award, and we were a little nervous about if he was okay with winning it, and you just told me you loved it.
It was the greatest night of my life. Yeah, could not be happier about it.
That's awesome. And we posted about it on Instagram, but he did not accept the collaborator tag, which made us even more nervous that he didn't like winning the award. But it's because you are a professional photographer with a lot of brands following you.
That's right. Got to keep it professional.
And you didn't want the brands that follow you to know you for that.
No, I'm not ashamed of the award. I just got to, I got to just keep it clean on the internet.
Right. So beyond the fact that you're all good with the Boob of the Year and you're out here at the Clash, we were just talking, and you mentioned that the night after the Classic, you're 26 years old. We were talking about how easy it is to bounce back from a hangover in your 20s. But you were saying the night after the Classic, after we found about 30 empty beers in your cart and awarded you Boob of the Year, what was happening to you between the hours of 6 in the morning and 9 in the morning Sunday after the Classic?
My body purged everything from the night prior for a good 3 hours, in and out of sleep. And it was all made up for after the fact when I had a nice Hawaiian feast over at Ingles, and we were good to go after that. But it was a rough morning to start after the Classic.
It's a testament to how much you drank, and then you went over to the Ingles house. They were inside the gates for a week, and his in-laws are Hawaiian, and they made you a Hawaiian feast?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Everything under the sun. I can't name anything. It was the first time I've had any of it, but it was all fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Ty Steinready Boob of the Year, Cameron Huth. Thanks, Cam.
Thank you very much.
After a great time at the yacht party, we did some dinner at the hotel before heading back to my room to quickly recap the day. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's the end of the night. It's 9 o'clock. Night one, Friday night, Rams Hill. I've got the one, the only, Mr. 71 himself, Tony Bacardi, in my hotel room. And we are on some professional microphones. And first off, Tony, how do you feel about the fact that I have a suite and you don't?
Seeing as you were the one that invited me out here, it's pretty apropos.
Yeah.
I am a little jealous. You do have the extra room here. These couches are very feng shui.
They're what?
Feng shui.
Fun sway. Not feng shui.
Well, I don't say feng. I say fun. Feng shui. I don't use the G word.
We just got back from dinner. There's a restaurant here on property that butts up right against an abandoned golf course. This place, at least right now, is straight up a ghost town.
Yes, sir.
You'd agree with that?
Absolutely.
But we went out to dinner with Scott Nolan and his son Lucas and also Cameron Huth. Just a little five-top. We were in this restaurant that was completely devoid of human life, yet we had to flag down the server time and time again. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We're rolling with it here. I have, by my count, 7 different room keys right now. I left my room keys in my car, which I left at the golf course. You drove us back. And then I got some more when we got here so I could get into my room. And then I put my room keys by my cell phone in my pocket for dinner, so they didn't work. So now I've got 7 room keys. One guy, one room, 7 room keys.
You do have a big enough room to fit 6 other people in here. So
yes.
You could pass them out tomorrow at the tournament and tell them to all come by.
I think this is a good time to do just a little bit of a recap of today. First off, we're smoked right now. And we're old. We're on a golf trip in Borrego Springs. Feels like we're on the surface of the sun. And you said it right before we started taping. The sun will get to you.
It just sucks the life out of you. And as soon as you get out of the sun is when you start to feel it. You don't really feel it when you're in the sun.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get out to cooler temperatures and more shade, you go, wow, I left at least 6 months of my life out there today.
Yes. And the good news is it is going to go up to 104 tomorrow and 108 on Sunday.
We played in 101 today. It will be 104 tomorrow, 108 on Sunday. You, as it's been documented already, shot a 1 under 71. You birdied the 18th hole. I think we would bore the audience to death if we recounted your golf round, but just an overall feeling on posting that kind of score at this kind of course.
You know, I'm a head case, so when I go out to play, I don't expect to play well. What I want to do is I want to play satisfactory. I want to feel like I respected the course and respected the property and respected the layout, played the course properly, kept the pace of play. But today I was surprised. I think that my favorite sequence of events was the first hole. And from then on, I was a little bit more geeked about my second shot on 180 out of the sand, put it to 12 feet, and that putt was super drippy. I think I mentioned it as we were walking off the green. I said, it's all downhill from here, because I felt great about that. I said, well, if I have one good sequence of golf events, this is going to be it. And so I'm going to relish that. And it ended up continuing for a while. I think it really didn't hit me till 14. Once I got to 14, I said, wow, I could put a number up here. You know, I told you before we came out here, we're not winning this thing. We're going to have fun. We're going to be two friends that just have a good time. But I think that today is one of those things where I think golf suckers you in.
You're about to go to your hotel room. You're about to turn in early. It's 9:15 at night. We both are probably going to be awake for another 20, 25 minutes respectively. When I ran into you at the Nation Desert Classic in early May, you told my wife and me that you do not sleep in hotel beds.
I do not.
You sleep on hotel floors. Are you going to sleep on the floor tonight?
I am absolutely going to sleep on the floor tonight. I'm going to grab myself the pillows off the bed, grab one of the blankets, make myself comfortable, and get a great night's sleep on the floor.
Why don't you sleep in hotel beds?
Hotel beds are notoriously plushy, and that's not. I have a very bad back. So especially on nights like tonight when I'm extremely exhausted, I'm going to sleep like a log, which means as soon as I get uncomfortable, I'm not going to wake up. So I'm going to wake up with a terrible back, because these beds, for anybody that doesn't have a bad back, can be extremely comfortable.
Right.
For myself, not so much. So I sleep on a nice, hard surface. I usually do it in a corner, a place that isn't trotted on with bare feet and doesn't usually get things spilled on it. So I pick a nice corner. But yeah, I live like a homeless guy with a home.
We're teeing off at 10:30 tomorrow. You need to drive me to the golf course because I left my car there.
Yep.
What time are we meeting out in the parking lot at your rental fire engine red Audi?
8:45 out the door.
I'll see you tomorrow at 8:45.
Yes.
There he is. Morning.
Good morning.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. How are you feeling?
Good. 8 in the morning, walking out from the hotel and heading to the golf course. You already got a workout in and a swim?
I went for a swim and got a little lift in and had to.
There's a fitness center here?
There is. It's right here on the other end of the pool, and it was actually pretty busy in there this morning.
Nice. All right, man. How are we going to do today?
We're going to have fun. We're not going to win. We're going to have a good time, and we're going to bro out.
Don't let the music fool you. I just wanted to use it again to signify that the clash at Rams Hill was about to be officially underway. Now, when Tony said to me that we were going there, not to win, but to bro out, it turns out that we might have been the only team with that mindset. All right, it is 9:27. We tee off in 33 minutes. We've had a sufficient warm-up, if you want to call it that. Tony is fixing my driver swing. But the real story here, folks, as we sit in our golf cart just off the practice putting green, waiting to go, is that the next smile we see will be the first. A lot of serious players out here, Tony.
A lot of try-hard pants on out here. A lot of try-hard.
By the way, that's not a knock on Rams Hill. That's not a knock on the golf course, the facility, the tournament. But there are a lot of folks with khaki shorts, Peter Millar performance polos.
A lot of putting aids.
A lot of mirrors on the putting green. A lot of TrackMans on the range.
A lot of lab butters.
This just makes me want to win even more.
I came out here and I told you we're not going to win. We're going to have a good time. But there is nothing more I want than to throttle every single one of these stewards.
Yes, exactly. Will it happen? Probably not. But would it be hilarious if we took this thing down, considering the level of seriousness that we are feeling right now? Couple of points of clarity here. Rams Hill and its wonderful staff and facilities are not responsible for golf dorks. Golf dorks are an epidemic at every golf course in America. And look, if you're a guy who shows up to a net tournament with a stone face and a broomstick putter and alignment tools because you just want to win that badly, good for you. I'm of the mind that golf is more fun when you prioritize the people you're with and not the game you're playing, and when you just slap it around and wait to get lucky. But honestly, what do I know? I'm a 13 handicap that missed a belt loop that morning. The other point of clarity is this. I am not a competitive person at all. I was born without that gene. But when I'm surrounded by tryhards, I do tend to let my mind wander about how great it would be to beat them. Not because I want to win, but because I want them to lose, and to lose to someone that barely cares. Perhaps I should work out that complex with God or a therapist or both. But anyway, when we got into our golf carts to start round one of the clash, the scorecard was a thing of beauty for Mr. 13 Gin. Ooh, just saw the scorecard. I pop on 1, I pop on 2, I pop on 3, I pop on 5, I pop on 7, I pop on 8, I pop on 10, I pop on 11, I pop on 13, I pop on 14, I pop on 15, and I pop on 18. Tony, we'd love to see that.
You love to see it.
All right, bud.
You love to pop it.
Let's go win a golf tournament. Let the clash begin. Nothing like a severely dotted up scorecard to boost the confidence. We were paired up with Scott and Lucas Nolan again. Scott wanted to win some money back, so we were in another straight up match for 20 smackaroos. Comfortable group, lots of pops. Saw the golf course yesterday. Tony coming off of a 71, went to bed at 9:30 at night. What could go wrong? All right, guys, just played hole number 1, 35 to go. 18 holes today, 18 tomorrow. Hit the ball well off the tee box. Par 5 was on in 3, and not a 2-putt, not a 3-putt, but a 4-jack from the kid here. That's a 7 net 6 to start. It's been said many times before that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Well, I finished like I started. I shot a gross 90, and probably 45 of those strokes were putts. I did my partner no favors whatsoever. I popped on 14 holes and didn't ever do better than a net par. I did have 2 birdies, perfectly timed, on par 3s where I wasn't getting any strokes. If 2-man best balls are supposed to be ham and eggs, Tony was the ham and I was the honeydew melon that everyone just throws away. I also lost my match to Scott Nolan, the first time he's ever gotten the better of me. Tony, though, did shoot a 74, and coming off a practice round 71, this guy was 2 over through 36 holes at Rams Hill. Incredibly impressive. He did his part, but his high handicap partner did not do his. In the end, we carded a net 70 for a 2-under round
that had us in the bottom middle of the pack. Our clash was over. But we were having too much fun to care. The only other audio I want to play from Saturday's round 1 is when we ran into the mayor, Will Mayo, out on the golf course. The guy was driving around like Bob Hope, glad-handing and hosting. What a guy. Now, earlier in the day, before we teed off, the staff at Rams Hill gathered the players to make some announcements, and they told the field that there would be Zico coconut water out on the course, a horse race derby later in the evening, and that the winner of that derby would receive power-built wedges. Given that all 3 of those things are straight from the Nation Desert Classic and that Will Mayo attends the Nation Desert Classic, I walked over to the mayor during those morning announcements, leaned into him and asked, "Hey, where'd you get your tournament playbook?" Without missing a beat, the mayor leans back and just says to me straight-faced, "F*** you." So I asked the mayor about it later that day when I saw him out on the golf course.
Have you had enough of me this week already?
No, we still got 30 more hours.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't answer the question.
No, man, all you can eat.
Okay, well, I said something to you, and then you said F you to me.
Yeah.
Do you remember what I said?
Oh, you said, where'd you get your playbook from? Because
Yes.
we got,
You've got a
some
derby,
friends at Zico.
you've got Power
Yeah,
Built,
derby.
you've got Zico, and so I leaned in and said, "Where'd you get your playbook from?"
Well, you guys did invent the derby, and so therefore,
Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit, Mayor.
that's right.
Okay. Great to talk to you, bud.
All right.
Thanks for
That
having
was
us
great.
out. We're having a great time.
Imitation is the highest form of flattery. After golf, we headed back to the clubhouse for a steak dinner. And again, 2 days in a row, coming straight from golf in triple-digit heat to another event on the itinerary without a shower.
We're driving back to the clubhouse right now. We're going to go hand in our scorecard. We're going to go to the sink and take a sink shower. There's a word for that, but we're not going to say it.
Oh, you can say it. It's called a...
Tony can say it. I can't. That might get bleeped. We'll find out. Ryan Engel knows exactly what I'm talking about. I just want to see somebody on the range grinding out right now.
No
Just-
Lars Lewis here today.
Just
so I don't
Lars
think we'll see
Lewis style, just grinding after 18 holes. All right, Tony, this is important. You're known for handing in incorrect
that. All
scorecards.
right, let's do it.
Let's make sure.
So,
I don't know that we need to
what-
add up our team score. They'll do that.
okay, so...
Let's just make sure you have a number in for everything.
Yep. That I do.
Major respect to the chef at Rams Hill for working an open flame grill outside in 105-degree heat and cooking up perfectly medium rare steaks for a field of 80 players. Unreal. Great dinner. Our first of 2 dinners that night, you'll come to find out. And now Tony and I are off to the horse race.
Let's use a nation ball. All right, so the horse race is about to start. We just finished a steak dinner. Feel like old people. We had dinner at 4 o'clock, but here we go. It's a 1 club horse race. I'm playing with my partner, Tony. We're using his clubs. He's got TaylorMade R7s. I get to pick one. He gets to pick one. We're going 5-iron, 60-degree wedge. Why 5-iron? Why 60-degree?
Because you can belly a 60 degree, you can use a 60 degree around the green, and a 5-iron will get us there on these long par 4s.
All right, so that's the strategy. And not going to lie, I would just love to lose this early so we can go jump in the pool. Say hi to the people, Poyo.
Hi, who's this?
Anthony and Adam, 7 on the ball.
All right, you're number 7. That's my lucky number.
Troy Nielsen, Tanner, 11. Nielsen and Eder, 12.
Do you have a ball in you?
Bella, Lennon, 13.
You wanna borrow that guy's
Hunter
Sharpie?
and Tropicana, 14. Nedler, Glennon, 15. Nolan and Nolan, 16. And Gillen and Erickson, 17. Did we miss anybody? Yes.
Hey, Bob, the Nolans are out.
Oh, the Nolans are out?
Yep.
Scott Nolan, a late scratch for the horse race. Wonder what that could be all about. As for Tony and me, we made it past the first hole, a par 4, in which we carded one of the most legit fours you're ever going to see with a 5-iron and a 60-degree wedge. But our run quickly came to an abrupt end on the very next hole. A 150-yard par 3 in which Tony pushed a little flighted cut into a greenside bunker. I splashed one out to 8 feet, but we were above the hole. He missed the putt. It trickled downhill. I missed the comebacker. He tapped it in. Blah, 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 blah. We lost, all right? Or did we? The big win here was getting off the golf course and getting in that hotel pool.
Alrighty then, it is 5:45, and the good guys have been bounced from the horse race derby. That will happen. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
Thank you.
All right, see you tomorrow. So we've been knocked out. We were in a 3-for-1 chip off, and my ball did not qualify. So Team Lucky 7, is headed back to the clubhouse, where we will promptly go back to the hotel, and we will promptly jump in the pool. Well, folks, we were pulling out of the Rams Hill parking lot, and I just remembered that I forgot my 7 hotel keys in my car, so we are flipping a U-turn, and we're heading back. Sorry, Anthony.
I mean, it sucks to suck.
Can't help it if you suck.
I'm a professional writer by trade, and there's not a sentence I could possibly put on paper that would adequately describe the feeling of jumping into a pool after a 10-hour day at the golf course in 105-degree heat. Now, remember when I said we were served dinner at 4 p.m.? It was now 8, and we were all hungry again. So we went out for 4th meal in downtown Borrego Springs to a place called Carly's. The one place besides the golf course and the hotel lobby where I saw another human being the entire weekend.
Pizza, pasta, seafood. Oh, they make it all.
So we're here at Carly's in Borrego Springs, and with Lucas Nolan, Scott Nolan, Tony Bacardi. How would you describe the place we just walked into?
It is the living embodiment of the double deuce from Roadhouse. I'm waiting for Dalton to walk in and just sit there with a cigarette in his mouth and just watch everybody steal from the bar.
What are you feeling tonight, Scott?
I'm feeling good tonight. I don't really,
I want to know what you feel like eating.
I don't know what to eat because there's so many choices. I feel like I can spend about an hour reviewing this menu. I don't know if I want the poke bowl or the pizza.
Do you trust Pokey in the desert?
No.
Carly's looks like every other dive bar you've ever been to. But a dive bar in a divey town has a different feel to it. It's more authentic and more seamless, more of its time and more of its place. Carly's isn't paying homage to anything. It's not inspired by local relic watering holes. It is the inspiration to local relic watering holes. This called for a drink beyond the usual.
Can you guys do 2 whiskey shots with 2 picklebacks?
Very Santa Barbara, dude.
Wow. Do you know what picklebacks are?
Like a shot?
Just pickle juice.
So it's like a shot of whiskey and a shot of pickle juice? Can we do 2 of those?
What kind of whiskey?
You want one?
Sure, why not?
3, please. Let's do Jack in honor of Frank Sinatra, who loved Borrego Springs. Thank you very much. The pickleback shots are here. why don't you do the honors of telling us what we're cheersing to?
To 4 buddies playing, chasing around a little ball in the desert in a Pepsi.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's do it.
That is so good. I love the pickleback shot. What's your take on it, Scott? First try?
That is very interesting. Wow. That was good.
Nice. I want to take a very quick moment here to express my sincere apologies to Scott Nolan. Scott had asked me if he could be a guest on this podcast that we were putting together as a recap for our weekend out at Rams Hill. I had said yes, and we were supposed to do it Saturday night, which is where we are right now in this episode. And unfortunately, I forgot to invite him over to Suite 305 to be a guest on the pod. Scott, I did not do that on purpose. I was absent-minded. I apologize. With that said, here is the nightly recap from one Anthony Bacardi and myself. We are back in room 305 at the Borrego Springs Resort.
Wait. Sweet 305.
Suite 305. We just finished dinner at Carly's.
Mm-hmm. AKA the Double Deuce.
The Double Deuce from Roadhouse. What an establishment. I appreciated seeing signs of human life. There were actually some women in there and some guys spitting some game. And I pray for every lonely man in Borrego Springs to find some love, whether it be tonight, whether it be next week, whether it be a year from now. I pray for this lonely, lonely town that there would be some sort of romantic connection for these folks. Because we're out in the middle of nowhere. It's the only place I've ever been where, after being here for a mere 48 hours, I know this town as well as someone that's lived here for 48 years.
Mm-hmm.
You feel the same way?
Yeah.
So the question that I have for you to start off this nightcap, as we are putting a bow on night 2, is, do you still want to play golf tomorrow?
I do.
Yeah. This is the difference between one Anthony Bacardi and one Adam Hawk. I would be more than happy, and probably happier, if I didn't have to swing a golf club for another month. I've had enough.
Mm-hmm. You got to love the sport. You got to love the game. If you don't love the game, it gets old really fast.
Yeah. And I'm wondering now if I do love the game.
Well, I mean, there's when you 4-jack on an eagle putt and you lose your ball from 257 because you decided to hit a 7-wood and are wondering why you can't find your ball afterward.
Right.
Can wear on the passion a bit.
Yeah. I think also wearing on the passion is the fact that it was so hot. Did you just wipe your nose on the mic?
My lips.
Oh. Which you told me earlier today, do not get chapped.
Do not. No, my lips actually stay pretty moisturized.
Oh, very nice. Yes. Maybe some...
It's the Italian in me.
Yeah. Perhaps some ladies of the night in Borrego Springs would appreciate that about you.
I mean, if they have enough teeth.
Wow, folks. So today you shot a 74.
I did.
Which is amazing to go 71-74 at this track. For the weekend, you are 1 over through 36 holes. Unfortunately, all that counts for the tournament is the 18 holes you played today, and even more unfortunately, you had to play them with me today. I think I popped on perhaps 14, if not 15, of the 18 holes, and I did nothing with those pops. Not one net birdie. Not one. Which is disgusting because I had 2 gross birdies that also netted out as birdies because they were on par 3s.
The most interesting thing I think about your game is that from shot to shot, your talent level changes. I can see you hit an amazing flushed 5-iron 1 minute, and you'll blade a wedge off the green the next minute. And it's really interesting to watch because it's like flipping a coin. It really is.
Yeah.
And so what are we going to see out of Hawk right now? We're either going to see something really good or we're going to see something really bad.
Really. I don't think there has ever been a more apt description of my game than what you just laid out there right now, which is it's like flipping a coin. And I think because that is so dead on and so accurate, you have captured the feeling that I have right now of not necessarily being super excited to get up and do it all over again. The hospitality out here is unbelievable.
Oh, it's A1.
It's A1. They are taking care of the players, and we have not had a bad meal yet. And
0.
In a place like this, you kind of would expect that when you go off campus, you would have a bad meal. We had a great dinner last night. We had a great dinner tonight. And then at Rams Hill, they've just been rolling out tacos, brick oven pizza, steak dinners. And when we were about to pass out from heat exhaustion, what do you know? Some people from Rams Hill roll up with frozen grapes and a cold towel.
In the pocket.
So in the pocket. So Rams Hill, just step above.
Yeah.
And I've been to a number of country clubs. I've never had someone drive out a cold towel and frozen grapes.
That was pretty epic.
Wasn't it?
That was great. However, it's the little things that I notice about the staff and the way that they treat their patrons. When we were getting ready to tee off for the Derby, we were talking to the mayor, and we're just shooting it with him, you know. And a couple of the agronomy guys are driving by in their motorized carts, and he noticed them, stopped talking to us for a minute, for a second, and high-five those guys as they were going by. These guys are not normal pro shop staff members. They're agronomy guys. They're out there taking care of the greens. They're out there, weeding. They're cleaning up the fairways. They're filling divots. They're, taking care of the course. And when you see a guy that's the head of marketing for a resort like this high-fiving the turf team, that was special to me. I noticed that.
Yep.
And I went, wow, what a small, tight-knit group that seems to be singularly focused on making a great product. Yep. And I think it comes through.
As we wrap it up tonight, you slept on the floor last night.
I did.
And you slept naked.
Totally nude.
And why did you opt to go completely naked on a hotel floor?
So, well, first of all, I wasn't on a hotel floor. I set myself up with a bed. I sent you a picture of the bed, so you know that I wasn't on the carpet. Okay. I pull the bedding off of the bed, and I make myself a bed, but it's a lot stiffer on the ground. It's better for my back. And I was hot. I had taken a shower, and I just couldn't get the heat off me. And that's what we were talking about earlier, is it's better to be, like as you were saying, you would rather be cold.
Yep. Because
you can always layer up and you warm yourself up. But when you're hot, there's only so much you can take off.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I'm in this room by myself. I'm not embarrassed. I'm hot. The air conditioner's right there. Let's just strip down and put on the birthday suit. And that's what I did.
Good for you. All right, man. I will see you in 9 hours and 30 minutes.
Mimi's.
Mimi's?
Mimi's.
What's that?
You don't know what the term Mimi's means?
Is that Italian for good night?
It's not Italian. Mimi's means sleep. It's time to go Mimi's. You've never called your kids and told them it's time to go Mimi's? You have a Mexican wife.
Yeah.
And you've never said, hey, guys, it's time to go Mimi's.
I'll take that up with her.
Yes.
When I get back.
Yeah.
Housekeeping.
Morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm all right.
How'd you sleep?
Terrible, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
All right. Well,
What are you grabbing here?
Everything. But I got it all. You don't need to help. I appreciate you picking me up. Morning.
Good morning.
Just checking out.
Okay, all set.
Thanks, Doris.
You're welcome.
All right, we're checked out of the Borrego Springs Resort and Spa. Those last two words are used quite liberally. But the first two words are accurate. We were in Borrego Springs, and we will remain in Borrego Springs as Anthony and I drive to our third and final tee time. It's our second tournament round. A reminder that Anthony has fired a 71 and a 74. I have fired a 92 and a 90. It's a tale of two different players here, folks, but we're married this weekend, and so you got to dance with the one that brought you. We are a good 15 shots out of the tournament, but that's okay because now we get to have some fun.
Absolutely. We have transfusions in the back. It's going to be a little bit messier today. We're just going to break 80.
Well, you're going to break 80. I guess you got some good news. You looked up the weather, and it's not supposed to get to 108.
Yeah, when I looked at it, it said that it would be 90 at tee off, and the hottest it would get is 102.
You didn't sleep well. I slept great, but I just could have gone for another hour or two. And I think that has to do with the pickleback shots last night.
For me, it was more the getting up earlier tee time. I didn't sleep well just because I slept with clothes on.
You didn't sleep naked last night?
I did not.
Did you sleep on the floor?
I did.
When you leave a hotel room in which you construct a makeshift bed on the floor, do you place the sheets back on the bed after you leave?
Yes, I grab them and I just ball them up and throw it back on the bed.
What a nice guy, folks. We'll keep you posted. Nothing like some emotional buildup for a tournament that we are so far out of that we never really cared about winning in the first place, but gosh darn it, I love this song. I think this next part is pretty fun. We get to the golf course, we have our dumb little warm-up, we drink a Bloody Mary and a tequila sunrise. We're feeling really good. We're happy to be there. And then we find out that there's a raffle. And a raffle that you actually didn't have to purchase any tickets for. Just as a tournament player, you're registered. And out on the prize table were about 40 different prizes. And in a field of just 70 players, your odds are better of winning than they are of losing. So I'm feeling real good.
Okay, now for the raffle, we've got lots of great prizes here.
You gonna win something, Scott?
I'd love to win something, especially wearing these driver head covers.
That's Scott Nolan, who I just asked, are you gonna win something, Scott? We're standing next to each other, we're listening to the raffle, and here's where serial disappointment starts.
Pro V1's Adam Ardall.
Oh, I thought that was gonna be me. So no box of Pro V1s for me, despite hearing my first name called. But that's okay. There was one box left.
And lastly, Scott Ritchie.
Oh, ow. Ouch, Scott. We've both been duped by the first name being called. All right, so Scott and I both had our first names called, and both of us were duped. Yep. What's that? A Cobra driver up for grabs on the raffle table.
And we also have a driver here from Cobra Golf, Scott McDowell.
Oh, brutal. Two Scotts called, and none of them are Scott Nolan. Because I had a penchant for bothering the mayor this weekend while he was exceptionally busy dealing with real problems, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed bringing him my fake problems. What's the point of knowing you if I can't get a raffle rigged in my favor?
You're not even in the cup, dude.
I'm not in the cup? Because I'm not a paying customer? Oh, you jerk. I was sitting there waiting. Gosh darn it, Will. Can I have the cup? Oh, my gosh. He said no. Wow. The mayor just getting over. Good for him. Want to go back to the beginning of the morning announcements because of this right here.
Hope everybody had a good time yesterday, and thanks for coming out to round 2 of the Clash. For those who were with us last night, we had our horse race. About 21 teams participated. Stephen Shea and Kevin Vicinus outlasted the other 20 teams and each won a set of power built wedges. So congrats to Stephen and Kevin.
Controversy alert, controversy alert. I'm going to stop the tape right here on the morning announcements from my man Robert at Rams Hill, because the winners of the horse race that he just announced happen to be a team from hole number 2 of the Derby yesterday that topped a tee shot and was able to re-tee and hit it again with no penalty, as if it never happened, because Pollo, one of Jimmy Tropicana's guys, Pollo, screamed in this guy's backswing. Now, I thought it was hilarious, but I was too scared to laugh because it was heinously awkward. It was dead silent. People were moaning and groaning and very upset about it. However, I'm of the mind that horse races and derbies are rowdy by nature and that you have to be prepared for anything. But it's not my tournament. It's not my horse race. I just want to point out that the winners of the horse race were allowed to re-tee on the second hole. And of course, I had to ask Will the Mayor Mayo about that controversial decision.
It's just a gentleman's game, and it just felt like the right call in the moment. The good news is that it's a very small tournament committee, pretty unilateral in our authority, and just felt like it was the right thing to do. And I would do it all over again.
How'd you sleep last night with that decision?
Like a baby.
So you had no problem handing over championship hardware to someone that got to re-tee it in a derby?
We had no problem handing over the 2 sets of power built wedges. Shout out power built Trevor Larson and the pride that goes along with it. And if it weren't them, it was going to Jimmy Tropicana, and that guy's got enough.
Let's go play some golf. New day, new team to play with. Scott and Lucas Nolan were off with some other pairing, and so were we. A couple of great San Diego surf bros who were treated to seeing me make a triple bogey 6 on our opening hole, the par 3 fifth.
Off and running, already out of breath. It's hot, and I had to do a lot of walking from the cart path to the bunker. Made a 6 on the par 3 to start. Tony flagged it and is in the driver's seat early for closest to the pin. We will see if it holds. Do you think it's going to hold?
I absolutely think it's going to hold.
I've been listening back to some of this audio as I've been dumping it into my computer throughout the weekend. I am winded in a lot of these clips.
The air is thin. The air is dry. You're out of shape.
I think it's just that third part.
Let's jump ahead 6 holes to the par 5 11th. By now, we're getting real tired, and Tony is doing something he didn't do the first 2 days, and that is drink. And drink a lot, which is great. Glad he was getting loose and having a good time. But his game was getting just a touch loose, too.
Well, folks, right before we started rolling tape, Tony Bacardi apologized to me. I don't know why. And then he said, I'm in my own head right now. We're not here to win this thing. We're here to have fun.
We're really not.
We've got a great new pairing with Ted and Jaleel, just a couple of San Diego bros. Ted actually knows Ryan's wife, Katie Kai, from the La Jolla surf scene. And look, we're on a bit of a bogey train, but who gives a flippin' heck, man?
Right.
We're just trying to see this thing through to the end, get out of here in one piece, and get back on the road and go home. So let's just have a good time. We both vowed to birdie this hole, and I think we both might be in the water off the box.
The problem with shooting 71 on Friday and 74 on Saturday is that it's hard to repeat. But God bless Tony for trying. I, on the other hand, didn't care about anything other than getting off the golf course. I was smoked, and I'm not nearly good enough at golf to mentally check in for 54 holes in these conditions. That's not a knock on Rams Hill, that's a knock on me. I am too weak and too bad at this game for what we were doing. And with 3 holes left, I felt like a marathon runner with 3 miles left. No gas in the tank and barely the will to continue.
All right, folks, it's 1:30 in the afternoon. It's very, very hot, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I don't know what else to say.
Adam wasn't built for 18.
No, and I certainly wasn't built for 54 holes in 3 days in triple digits. But here's the thing. As I've topped 3 shots in a row because I just can't finish a golf swing, I'm still having a good time.
Oh my God, we're having a blast.
I just wish
That's such a good shot.
that I didn't have to hit golf shots anymore. That's it. We have 3 holes left, and it feels like we have 18 left. I'm in this bunker up to the left.
No, you're not. Are you?
Or did I roll out of it? Did I roll out?
I don't know.
Please, I don't want to get in the sand. I don't want to rake. Oh, there I am. I rolled out, thank God.
I don't see it. Where's that?
It's right there, 12 o'clock. But yeah, the reality of the situation is that
It's an attrition game.
it's a war of attrition.
We're playing the golf version of Hunger Games.
Yes. And
We're losing.
just ready for this to be over, and I cannot believe that we have a drive home after this. That is in the 3-hour range. Who needs practice swings at this point, right? I mean, that's just
Wow.
all
See you
over
in
it.
church.
Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you. Thank you. Tell you what, if the ball's sitting up and I can play a highly lofted club, this is a fun game. But I don't want to put a tee in the ground again. I don't want to take a full swing again. I don't want to read a putt again. But if you want to go chip balls, I'm your guy.
No, that was not the shot that keeps me coming back. I don't want to play golf for a long time. And again, how I feel today has no effect over how much fun I had that weekend. I had so much fun. I really, really did. But my gosh, listening back to this audio, I can just feel again how deathly tired I was in that moment. I'm going to play the final couple of minutes of our final hole. For context, all 4 players in the group had reached the green in regulation and had birdie putts.
Again, out of breath. What an embarrassing podcast this is turning out to be. With how out of breath I've been. But we did just walk pretty far and uphill, and it's very hot.
You walked really far uphill. I'm not out of breath.
Let's go make some putts, dude. A couple of birdie putts. All right. How about one time here, Ted?
You have it in you. Greatness, that is.
All right. I'll play it right at the hole. Stretch.
Oh.
Stretch. Oh.
That was a great putt.
Thank you. Thank you. You need me to mark that, do you? Can I just finish it?
You can finish it if you like.
Okay. Well, I will.
Attaboy.
My clash is over with a Parsky. Tony Bacardi for birdie. Is it going to stretch? It needs to stretch. It's a little short. What a pleasure.
Dude, I was worried you guys were going to be lame. You weren't. Totally weren't.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Good par, Tony.
Thank you.
You're the man. Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, likewise.
Gentlemen.
Hey, brother. Awesome, dude.
Super
nice to meet you.
Super fun, man. Well played.
Awesome, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thanks. I don't know if Tony picked up a flagstick all day, so thanks, guys. That was real nice of you.
Were you counting?
Yeah, it got up to 0.
You guys want an orange? I grabbed a couple from the bread. Bro, haven't you ever seen Stand and Deliver? Somebody give Gloria an orange.
That reference just fell on deaf ears.
It really did. Jimmy Tropicana liked it.
Well, that's it. That's it for the golf. Now we've got tacos, awards, and a long, long drive home.
That's all you get out of me.
You guys lose a putter cover?
We did, yeah.
We turned it in.
Thank you.
When we got to 1.
So it's just at the pro shop?
Yeah, it was in one of the fairways on that short par 4, like way back.
For the record, Tony shot 71, 74, 79, broke 80 all 3 days. I shot 92, 90, 89, trending. And yes, that was me who left the putter cover in some fairway. But I got it back, and thanks to a stuffed 160-yard 8-iron to 1.5 foot on 16, that wasn't the only thing I would be picking up back at the clubhouse.
And lastly, hole number 16, 1.5 inches. Adam Hoff.
It was feet, but all right.
No, we were just saying he's 1.5 inches.
Is that how you measured it?
All right, the last card should be coming in.
Hope we got that.
Oh, you sure did.
I don't know what I like best about that clip, the fact that I won a closest to the pin, or the fact that Anthony Bacardi and Scott Nolan teamed up for a small crank joke, which they loudly let out in public. And I think their combined age is just south of 100 years old. So a couple of grown men acting like children in a golf clubhouse. You hate to see it. Well, that'll be a wrap from Rams Hill. Tony and I are about to get in our respective vehicles, and he's going to lead me out of here on a much easier route than the one that I came in on. Tony, the clash is over. We came nowhere near sniffing it, but we had a really good time, and now we're sitting here just beaten down by the world because of the heat, which is a redundant motif on this podcast, but I had an awesome time, and you were a great partner, not just on the golf course, but great guy to go to dinner with, hang out at the hotel, jump in the pool. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time. Thank you for bringing me out.
Hey, what do you think about your partner winning closest to the pin?
I loved it. I'm so glad you really grinded out there this week and were really giving it your all and
taking it very seriously.
And it was good to see. They only gave away, 5 prizes.
Mm-hmm.
And to know that you were one of the 5 that they gave out of 80 or 90 players here is pretty nice. I'm proud to have you as my partner.
Thank you. What was your highlight of the trip?
Privately or publicly?
Well, I don't want to know your favorite moment privately. I hope you had some good private moments, but you can keep those private.
Carly's last night was a moment.
Yep.
I thought the picklebacks was a highlight of the weekend.
Yep.
That was non-golf related. To be honest with you, my golf game, sad to say, peaked after the first hole on Friday, when I made birdie on one and coming out of the bunker or whatever. So that feel-good part happened real quick, and from then on it was just trying to maintain the high.
Well, you played really good golf, and my highlight would definitely be jumping in the pool yesterday, following that up with Carly's, and then the nightly recap podcast we did.
Yeah, those are great.
As much as I love Rams Hill and had an excellent time out here for the first time and would come back in a heartbeat and totally understand why people think this place is so special, the whole Borrego Springs atmosphere really did it for me, and I got more of that off campus than on campus.
Yeah.
Let's get on the road.
Let's do it.
Let's get out of here.
All right.
Thank you to Will Mayo and everyone from Rams Hill that we met this weekend who took great care of us. I wish I had everyone's name, but those that I remember: Harry, Jesse, Bob, Robert, Luis, Aaron, the entire cart barn, those that worked the Ram Shack, the vendors who endured the heat to keep us fed and hydrated. Thank you to the staff at the hotel, and thank you to Borrego Springs for being the most hospitable, quirky little town I've ever been to. I now love knowing that you're out there. What a special place.
Just a mere 20 minutes left on the drive back from Rams Hill. really, really fun trip. One that I am incredibly grateful to have taken. And I had an amazing time at that golf course, and I had a really good time hanging out with Tony Bacardi for 3 straight days. And he was the perfect partner for this. And what I mean by that is just hanging out at the golf course is great, but going out to dinner together, hanging out in the hotel room, hanging out in the clubhouse, hanging out in the golf cart, it's a lot of time to be with one person, and takes a great personality to make that enjoyable. And Tony definitely has that in spades. It was very, very fun and rewarding to hang out with him. And now I am heading back to Fullerton, back to reality. I am going from the moon back to Earth, and I'm excited to get back and see my family. Last night at the hotel, we were coming back from dinner, and it was around 9:30 at night, and it was still really hot out, and there was a family in the pool, and I had to walk by the pool to get to my room, and I could just hear the 2 little kids in the family laughing and playing around with their dad in the pool. And those are the kinds of things that just make me miss my family when I'm away from them. It's hearing the voices and laughter of other little kids that makes me think of my own kids and wanting to get back to them. I'm happy that I get to see my wife and my kids here in a couple of moments. The real question is, will they be happy to see me? I smell like a goat's undercarriage right now, and I probably look worse. My skin is red and beaten, and I'm in golf clothes, and just look like a horse's backside. But hopefully they'll be excited to see me. That's it from the Rams Hill Clash episode. Hey, buddy. Hi, Johnny. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Love you.
I love you.